What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the beloved Dorseys podcast. We are your hosts, the beloved Dorseys. I'm Justin Dorsey.
I'm Justin Dorsey's wife.
And we missed y'all last week. We've been out doing family stuff, living life, all the things.
Whole lot of life to live.
A lot of family stuff. We'll do a little recap here, but before we get into it, we always want to shout out our number one sponsor, Black Girl Bless, handmade polymer clay earrings. Black Girl Bless got to make a little appearance with your girl this weekend, right?
What do you want?
You done forgot already. Black Girl Bless was able to bless one of her favorites people that she follows on the social media, Miss Tabitha Brown, who was here in Greensboro while we were out of town. But we'll get into that later because we have to first do our opening segment, which is our laughs and lessons.
Also, shout out to Teresa and Av for that. That come through.
Oh yeah, no, big shout out. We appreciate you. So, laugh and lessons for this week. Our laugh for this week it flows in with all the goings on that we were doing. We had a whole bunch of family events, and one of the family events that we had was like a housewarming / house blessing gathering situation, and my uncle, who is a apostle and leader of a church, he's also the one that officiated our wedding. He was leading the house blessing, and once he started getting real, worked up into the, and God, and he was going to anoint my parents, and he started with my mom, and he came in like when you see people that are, it's like the end of the service and they anointed people and people getting laid out. He came in with the crazy heavy hand, like he was all of like 1 inch or 2 inch from her forehead, but when he made contact, it just clapped. It just clapped on her forehead, man. And it was such sentimental or emotional
Everybody was
moment.
Already crying at that point. Dad started crying, and then it just kind of trickled. Everybody else started. So it was real. It was big emotions in the space. And so that one, it was like, oh no, stay in the moment.
I'm glad me and her didn't meet eyes, because I looked around for a second and.
I intentionally didn't look anywhere else. I was I was like, stay in the moment, stay in the moment, stay in the moment. It was a beautiful moment. So it was like, I don't want to start laughing.
It was so strong. It was so strong.
And he did it twice.
Yeah, but I feel like Miles was more serious.
No, he did it to your mother twice.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. The first one was still echoing in my mind. Then my lesson for the week is you have enough food. We probably have enough food.
It needs to be mind your business. And grown folk gonna do what grown folk gonna do.
You having a cookout or family gathering or whatever the case is. In my experience, every time my parents, her parents are fretting and worrying about, we don't know if we have enough food. We gotta do. There's always leftovers. Always leftovers. We were at her mother's this weekend
for her birthday
party, and part of it is not her fault though, because a lot of the times more people are saying that they're coming that end up not showing up.
She planned for a lot of people because a lot of people had RSVP'd, but all of those people did not show up.
Correct.
So
and so in that regard, it's not her fault, but this always happens, and she does it. My parents do it where they're worrying about, it's like, we don't have enough, or hey, make sure you're not eating all this, blah blah blah, and then by the time we get to the end of the event, it's like, take plates. We gotta get rid of this food. We can't.
Yeah, there's so much food left in the house, and I think like when we were leaving or Saturday night, people were taking plates, and I think they did a good job of taking enough food where it wasn't a crazy amount because I felt like for Dad's party there was a crazy amount of food left, and then we took food. So I think this one kind of panned out.
Yeah, they seemed less concerned about it. I was like, nah, this is good. We got this. We can work with this. Blah blah blah. Y'all can get this and that. Don't touch that. You good? Yeah.
Yeah. We're going. We gotta go to your parents' house.
And we're going back tonight. What was funny when we got to my parents' house and I saw the food laid out, and I was like, "It's about the same thing we was just eating." At your mom's, I was like, "But we're all black and we all make the same food."
Everybody was locked in when we walked in the house. They're like, "Hey y'all, how's it going?" And they're like, "Oh, over the pots," and I mean, getting it.
Grease spilling everywhere. Kana's still mixing pasta salad and mayonnaise and all that stuff.
Let me tell you, and I don't know if I did that much better, but Kana took one pepper and she goes, slice, 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 and I was like, "Girl, you're not gonna get anything done if you keep cutting it." So, and I also didn't feel like I had the type of knife that I would have used to cut it faster, but she was going one piece at a time and just chipping off little pieces because she wanted this dice really small.
She needs your little chopper machine.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I wish you would have known. I'd have brought the thing.
Been at the house.
She's like, she said that y'all have always had one, and she said it was weird that she didn't see one.
So she doesn't know how to cut because she's used to the chop machine.
No, I didn't say that.
You said she said we always had one.
Yeah, she was looking for it. That's what I'm saying. You talking about her skills? I don't,
That's what I heard. That's what I heard you say.
I guess.
That's what one day we're gonna have an episode just talking about communication and
communication. It's not even is it communication or comprehension? Because I feel like that's under the umbrella of communication. So when you're saying things and understanding. But no. One is how I say it. The other one is how you understand it.
Yeah.
One is they're both based on your life experiences, but of two different people and having to combine and make and edit and alter. And what we don't realize is like our teachers have always done that first. Like whether you were the kid who was on grade level, above grade level, or below grade level, somebody's always tried to, should have, always kind of edited the lesson so that you could understand it in the best way possible, giving you the same lesson in multiple ways so you can understand it. But that's not what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so one, we really wanted to do a recap of just our weekend change.
Yeah.
What we've been getting into. Money and I both have recently started stretching out our wings into trying new things.
Oh, amen. I was like, what are you talking about?
I love how
what kind of
she's been looking at me crazy like I didn't just tell her about this.
No, so he planned the episode, so I'm like still trying to remember. What's how are we turning the plane? If I was, anyways, go ahead.
So I have been getting semi-harassed by one of my homeboys. Semi-harassed. Yeah, nah, he be putting big pressure on me, talking about I need to try my hand at stand-up comedy because he does comedy, he does events, and we come out to his events, and of course we follow each other on social media, and the content I make is always through the lens of humor. I'm always either doing response videos or something and cracking jokes. And he's like, man, you're basically, doing the comedy stuff. All you need to do is get yourself a set, and it's going to feed into the podcast, which is going to feed into thing, and da-da-da-da-da. And so I was like, you know what? Fine, let's give it a try.
Because no one can make Justin do anything he does not want to do.
Absolutely not. Nobody puts baby in a corner. So I decided to give it a try. The thing is, I consume a lot of content from comedians. I watch a lot of interviews. A lot of the people that I follow on a regular basis are comedians. And so I have an understanding from listening to them for a good amount of time of some of the things that it takes. But also because of that, I also have a respect of what it takes to do that craft. I address everything through the lens of humor. I can't help it. It's actually a thing.
The most serious moments, and Justin will make a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And then
double down.
If he sees your frustration with him laughing, he will continue louder.
Oh, it's great. Oh,
no.
It's
like, oh, you're mad. Like, bro, why are you a child? Why are you a child?
But I've done 3 sets, or 3 times I've got up. The first 2 times were at my friend's karaoke event, Crabs and Comedy. Yeah, which is going to be interesting this week. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to perform or not, but he got that the bigger artists coming through to the Aunt E's and to his Thursday event. So that's going to be dope in general. But yeah, did it 3 times, and yeah, so I mean, I haven't gotten booed yet. It's getting better. I want to get to a place where I'm at least semi comfortable and feel like I can, try new things and spread my wings. But I am enjoying it. And then my beautiful wife over here. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna do it in order. That's fine. So that's something I started doing last Wednesday was the first one. So not this Wednesday that just passed, but the Wednesday before that. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, and then the Thursday.
I've been yawning so much.
Get that thing off you.
It's on my back. It has got me in a chokehold.
Oh yeah, no, definitely struggling this weekend because there was a bunch of driving. So this past weekend we had my
sister's graduation.
Yeah, my sister's graduation. Then sister's her birthday was
my mother's
the very
birthday
next day.
was on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. Sister's graduation on Friday. Sister's birthday on Saturday. My mother's birthday party on Saturday. Sister's graduation
in Maryland. Mm-hmm. As opposed to the graduation and sister birthday stuff in North Carolina. So
came back, did a thing. Family house blessing on Sunday. It's been a weekend.
So on Friday we went to the graduation.
Let me tell you about this graduation. So we pull out and we driving, and we're far down the street, like really several lights down the street. Mm-hmm. And there's traffic. The traffic
started 2 turns out of our house.
Like
2 turns out of our house is the traffic started.
You see people. I mean, it's a long walk, and they're just like, forget it. We're not even.
Because I mean, we're on a normal day. We probably could make it to the Coliseum in 6 minutes at max. 5-6 minutes. It's that close to our house. Yeah. It took us about 30 minutes. Or so minutes.
So finally found a park spot and get in there, whatever.
Somebody tried to charge us to park on their
and we parked across
on their yard. Like, y'all looking for a parking spot?
Something like that.
10. That was about 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so
they definitely look like they would have robbed us. Without question. Even if we hadn't needed it or was gonna do it, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't trust you.
But we get in the building. His parents, we were talking to them on the way there, and they're looking for a spot. We don't realize that after we later found out they were probably in the same area as us.
I thought when they called us, I was like, they're definitely probably already there. Y'all got seats for us?
No, absolutely not. So we get in. Now, my thought process is, you find a seat, and then people come and sit with you. That way, whoever gets there gets the best seat, and then people come and sit with you. My beloved husband was like, no, you wait for them, and then y'all all find a seat together.
I'm waiting because my mother's knees are just shot at this point. And
which is why I was trying to hurry up and find a spot that was
find a spot that was up near the ceiling of the Coliseum.
No,
we were already on the second floor.
There were lower seats. There were lower seats because I saw them, and I was like, okay, well, if we get over there fast, we can get those seats. They're lower. At least it won't be as bad. Even if we can't find a handicap seat, whatever, it won't be as bad.
That didn't end up making a difference because we didn't sit in either of these places. Where we did end up sitting at is the place that I suggested, or really close to the place that I suggested, where I saw some free seats down close to the bottom.
No,
and we ended
that's
up working
what I
our way.
was talking about.
I pointed over there.
No,
and he was like, nah, we can't get over. I was like, nah, that section or something about.
You pointed down to the section where the chancellor's thing was like blocked off. But I was like, if we go around, and then we got to that space, and you were like, I don't think it makes sense to go in without them.
That was when we were on the second floor. Because you were on the second floor. We couldn't do
anything on the first floor, so I know we didn't look for seats on the first floor. We only looked for seats on the second floor because as soon as we walked in, they said, there's no more seats, go up to the top and then go to your right.
Long story short, my mother ended up getting VIP treatment with this little staff worker girl that was pushing her around on the wheelchair cart. She got the special seating. We ended up in the rafters for a while where I had to turn my feet sideways because the seats were so close together. And then it took so long.
He took a nap.
I definitely took a nap. I still owe you one because she definitely violated me and took pictures of me while I was sleeping and put them in the family group chat. So I'm on your head.
Okay.
We got there. It started at 10. We didn't even get seated until 10:30. She graduated. They didn't call her section until like 1 o'clock. So by that time, people had started leaving. So we were able to just go ahead and move down and get it got really close seats at that point. So it didn't make a difference. But that was pandemonium. Got out of there. Had to do some running around
to the governmental shuffle.
Get the governmental shuffle.
Got passed around. Just not here, go there. Not here, go there. Not here. Well, you really need to go back over there and talk to them.
Money got a very good experience at that DMV. Like them, they just passing you around. Mm-hmm. Just go across town. And all of this.
That's what I said. Not even in the same building. Like go here,
across
down the street, and they all have printed out papers with addresses on it. They're like. I was just collecting addresses. They were like, "Oh no, you need to go here. Here's the address paper."
Or to find out ultimately that there was nothing they could do.
Yeah. Bygones. Ridiculous.
In true governmental fashion. So did that. Went back home, packed up, hit the road. We didn't.
Came back. I was finishing my package for Tab. Got that to our homeboy. Who gave it to his wife.
Okay, so tell them about what's the situation going on with Tab? How does Tabitha Brown work her way into our weekend?
Cool bean. So Tab is putting out her last collection with Target.
Oh, this is the last one.
That's what I keep saying that it's her last one. Mm-hmm. So she's putting out her last collection with Target on May 14th.
Because moving on to bigger
and better. I believe it's Mother's Day. Is that on Mother's Day?
Possibly.
I don't know. Putting out her last collection, and so she came back to the area where she grew up.
She's from
she's not far.
She's from another part of North Eden. Yeah. There we go.
But in Greensboro, Center City Park, and the last time she was here, people were like, "Oh yeah, Tab's at Whole Foods or whatever, something years ago," and I was like, "Oh dang, I'm at work. That's crazy." And so I was like, this is really awesome, great opportunity. I won't be here. And as a person who really, really inspires me, I absolutely love the work that Tab does. I was like, I gotta go celebrate my mom because my mom inspires me above all else. But I still was like, dang, like kicking myself, like, dang, I'm missing it. Like, I really want to go. I really would love to be there.
And you found out Liz was there, too.
Yeah. So I don't fangirl over a lot of people because I realize that people are human. I think it's cool that you made this platform. But also, when I find people that inspire me to step into spaces that make me uncomfortable and to continue to grow, I cling to their content, and I'm just like, this is a person that inspires me. So Tab and Liz are two of those people that really, really inspire me with their content. And so I was like, man, I really want to be there like that. Not that we were going to sit down and have a conversation and do all of that stuff, but just to,
you never know,
just to meet the people that, that inspire me on the internet. And we also understand that the internet is part true, part not, but also they are very open about who they are and their experiences and stuff like that, which I have great appreciation for. So, if I knew Liz was going to be there, I would also have gotten her some earrings.
Think you wouldn't wait?
No. I was going to go regardless. But she always talks about her love for earrings. And so, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. So I find out Wednesday or Thursday night or whatever. I'm on Facebook. I'm like, Tabitha Brown, Greensboro, Saturday. Tag nabbit. So I'm calling. I call one of my homegirls and she's like, yeah, no, I got stuff going on. Saturday I won't be there. Cool. Got it. Call my next homegirl. I'm like, yo, what are you doing on Saturday? What's going on? What's, blah, blah, blah. She's like, oh, my son got this going on, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I'm just trying to find somebody that is free that can just go and say, here, my friend makes these awesome products. She wants you to have them. Here you go. Did I ever tell you that I asked my old coworker?
That is, you haven't said it in a long time.
That's how I met her.
Yeah.
But mutual friends or whatever. She is a brand ambassador for Donna's Recipe, and so she was going to be there working the event. So bada boom, bada bang. One of them's husband came and picked it up. Dropped it off.
Made the drop
made
off.
it to the people. And then after text me was like, or message me was like, hey, package delivered. That's all my heart desired. But that was part of Saturday. Mm-hmm. That was pretty awesome.
So this is all going on while we're en route, honestly.
Yeah, we're shuffling.
No, because we went the night before. So while we're setting up for the party, at your mom's house.
I got the message.
Yeah, while we're setting up for the party, doing all the things.
We get into Maryland.
Get to Maryland. We do all the things. We set up. We didn't even get to Maryland until midnight. Got up in the morning, doing setup for the party, moving tables around and chairs, then, chasing her mother.
I was gonna say then did the wildest of chasing my mom.
Grab your phone. Started listening to a buzzer. Yeah, there we go.
Chasing my mom because
the red blur.
Yes, she had on a red romper. I guess it's a romper, yeah. But it'll be like, sit down, enjoy your birthday. Yeah, but the chicken's low. I gotta put more fish in the Girl, there are all these people here who want you to celebrate your birthday. So eventually we got her to sit down.
Y'all ever see one of them wind-up toys and like if you pick it up off the floor, the wheels are still going? That's essentially her. There was no stopping her.
Call my mama a wind-up toy?
There was no stopping her.
Yeah, it took a while.
I don't know that it ever happened. It got a little less. It got less.
I think people stopped coming and the food slowed down, so then she didn't feel
the need to have to be everywhere.
Yeah. I got to see my best friends, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. We walked and talked and hung out for a little bit, and got up in the morning and grabbed some food, and then got out.
Once we came back here, we left early on Sunday because Money had this bridal show expo that she'd been talking about wanting to do because she wanted to walk in it. Something that she's always wanted to do, but never gotten to do before. Is that correct?
Yeah, you were telling us, so I was just going to let you tell it.
No, I'm just...
Gotcha. So we came back. There's a Black Bridal Expo. It's in August 9th or 20th, something like that. I can't remember not 9th. That's Beyonce.
It's okay. The dates are
but in August there's a Black Bridal show, and so I was like, man, I want to go and just see how it goes. And I ended up missing the registration, so I had to message them. And I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work, but hopefully they'll still let me register, because I didn't realize I had to register. I also didn't know what a comp card was. And it's like, yeah, bring yourself and your comp card. And I'm like, is that something I'm supposed to download? Do I get it from somebody?
I think a lot of people don't know, because I didn't know
what
comp cards were.
It is a card with your measurements, weight, height, eye color, hair color, your name,
and pictures.
It is a picture of your face, a picture from the waist up, and then a full body picture, and then you can add other pictures in there. And so
But it's basically
it's pictures and then information, your contact information on there, and you give it to
whoever's doing that.
Yeah, when you go and do modeling stuff. So that was something that I learned that was really cool. And so we went to do it at Tutu, which is a shop in Greensboro off Lawndale, I believe. Got there. Yeah, I don't wear heels. They always hurt my feet. Now, the shoes I wore for the wedding were great. They don't hurt. They're comfortable. Those were great. But as a general rule of thumb, I'm not the girl that wears heels. Just, I have a hard enough time wearing any shoe in general. I'm working on my posture so that my feet don't hurt. Because turns out I have an arch, but because my feet go in, they flatten instead of me resting the way that they should and then having that arch. That's why I keep trying to correct my feet. Anyways, whole lot of, I'll be going to the chiropractor, learning about my body. So don't walk in heels. I've never auditioned, tried out, went to a casting call for modeling anything.
Anything outside the church.
Yeah. I've done church fashion shows, and I've done a pageant in high school. Other than that, that's about it. And so I went and
did the things.
As a person who struggles with anxiety, not even struggle, I don't even like to use the word struggle, but deals has anxiety, whatever. Being in front of people, doing something, especially doing something I don't do. If it's something I did do, I'm kind of like, I'm scared, but also like, I could do it. But doing something that I don't do, wearing shoes that I was more comfortable in, but as general thumb are not comfortable in, was very nerve-wracking. And I was telling my husband that when I went in, I was just like, you got this, you're confident, you got this, you can do it. If you don't get it, that's fine, at least you tried. You got this, just walk with confidence, blah, blah, blah. Because, and I kind of wish we had recorded our conversation, but,
that's what we're here for now.
Yeah. Just kind of realizing that I have to work on the conversations that I have in my head in those moments, and what I'm saying to myself and how it is coming out on the other end. Because if I stay in what my body feels, then I will end up
react that way.
Yeah.
Or let it. And we got into that conversation of showing nervousness, or people, not everybody showing nervousness, but still having their feelings, like, and understanding even your friends that portray as more confident.
Right.
That it just doesn't show on the outside. I, for instance, feel nervous all the time. When I was, we talked about it. I can't remember what you said to me, but when I was still fighting, you were saying you never knew that I would feel any type of way or was nervous because I didn't express anything. And so my feelings weren't super outward, but I definitely still felt the feelings. I, just masked it better and kind of powered through, but everybody still feels it.
As a general rule of thumb, I'm usually more outward expressing with my feelings and emotions. And so then I'm like, I'm nervous, and everybody knows I'm nervous, and everybody can see that I'm nervous, and everything's going to be bad. I don't have the confidence that even if I look nervous, or even if I am nervous, that people can't see it. And so then I'm embarrassed because I'm nervous. And then I'm like, somebody knows something about me now that I didn't necessarily want them to know. And so, yeah, just being able to put myself out there. I ended up walking 4 times instead of, I thought it was only going to be 2. So you walk down, you pose, and I ended up being first because I moved. So it was a small space in the back, and it was already girls in there. And so I moved around them to change my shoes, and then I was like, if I move back, there's not really any space, and other people had to come in the door. So I ended up being first in line, and I was just like, I didn't get to see anybody do it. None of that, like, So I walked down. So you're supposed to hold your number, walk,
needless to say, I am very proud of my wife. Yeah, she did a great job, and you can finish. I wanted before I forget. I'm very proud of my wife. She went in there, did the things, and not only did she do the things, I wasn't able to go inside with her, which I ultimately knew was going to be there for support. Like, I was just going to be there, to support her and make her feel better. And we found out on the way in, it's like, models only. So I'm very proud of her. She went in there, she did the things, accomplished her goal, regardless of whatever the results are. I think they would be stupid to not choose her, but
stupid. That's not a nice word.
Bumped it. I said what I said. And I'm really proud of my wife. And
thanks, babe.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you walk with the number, walk down, and then I think you walk past the table and then you pose. Or I was supposed to stop. I stopped. He was like, "You give him your number." So I gave him my number, and then I was like, "Do you guys want the comp card too?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll take that." And then I went to the side and I posed, and they were like, "Hey, come back." And I was like, "I did something wrong. Oh my gosh." And they were like, "Tell us about yourself." And I was like, he did say I was supposed to tell them about myself when I got there. So I did all that or whatever, and we did some walking. I realized I was having a hard time with instructions because I'm easily distracted. Mm-hmm. So he gave the instructions really fast, and then I was like, "Hey, I missed that." He's like, "All right, y'all ready to go?" And I was like, I turned to the girl behind me, and I was like, I'm new with this. I don't know what I'm doing. What did he say? And so she was super helpful. Shout out to her. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I had a good time. I felt good about myself and the direction in life that I'm moving in, because I am realizing that the confidence that I see other people have, the reason why I have so much admiration for my mom and for Kalia and for Tab and for Liz and all of these people in my life, or my husband, is because they look confident and they have something, or they show something that I want to have, or I want to consistently walk in, and it is the confidence factor, and the fact that they don't look nervous and they don't look scared, and I feel like I always look nervous or look scared, and that might not be the truth, but that's how it feels. And it's like, I wish I could just go and do something and it not feel like such a big
to do
a bit, yeah. So I'm working on that. I'm working on putting myself in uncomfortable spaces. I'm working on stepping into spaces with confidence, even if I know nothing, and of course being teachable, but also being like, yeah, I got this. That's nothing. Let's do it.
So that was majority of our weekend recap. We're going to be making some posts later, so if y'all want to see some footage or pictures, follow us, the beloved Dorseys, all that stuff on the IGs. So our first topic that we wanted to get into, there was a viral post or clip from Ebony K. Williams talking to Iyanla, and I guess Ebony is dating or still trying to find a husband, and she was talking about having a hard time finding somebody, and Iyanla asked her, just out of curiosity, would you date a bus driver? She said, if he owns the bus. And she was getting reprimanded, or they were getting a lot of backlash from it, because, why is she looking down on bus drivers? Now, while I do agree you shouldn't be looking down on people for their jobs, I feel like it is very much a common thing to not want to date or engage with certain people based on their profession. For example, in my single life, I knew I couldn't date somebody that was a serious actor, because I'm not trying to go support you in this role where you got to slob down this man or get your back pretend blown out and in some scene or whatever, and I got to smile. I was like, that's my baby. Right there. I couldn't do it. I would not want to date somebody that was a stripper, that wouldn't fly with me. Now that's different than what she was getting at, because she's more so kind of on that, probably your status essentially is the tone it was given and why she's rejecting it. But I know in it of myself that I would filter people based on the type of job they work. I had different reasonings, but why does that make me any more righteous or have a better opinion than hers? I don't know.
I think it's important to remember that there's nothing wrong with people who have those occupations.
Correct.
They are not listed or blah, blah, blah. I think we are all allowed to have preferences. It may not be your preference. Mm-hmm. There's also nothing wrong with people who do those things. I think we all come up with an idea of what we think life will look like, our partner will look like, and we kind of marry that idea. Mm-hmm. He's got to be this height. He's got to, have this type of hair and this type of stuff, and this type of money and this type of experience and this type of family. Blah 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 blah. We kind of make up this mysterious what if person. Because I remember a time being like, I don't think I could marry somebody who didn't, doesn't have a college degree. You'll eventually start to realize like some things are just not important. It matters more that he's in the grand scheme of things. That you're a good person, that you have a good heart, like, how you treat me, than if you have a college degree.
So this is a great point in general under this umbrella, because I don't know if it was because scrolling on social media and seeing people that I follow or a friend of somebody that I'm like, yo, I feel like I remember this person. I'm like, I feel like I used to have a crush on this person or like this person or whatever, like a long time ago. And now you're looking at them and I'm like, they don't have to have gained a bunch of weight or something different happen where their looks are different. You're just looking at them from a different lens of life. And like, I'm not really sure why I was so taken aback by this person when I first saw them. They pretty much looked the same. Now it's just like, it was special at the time. At the time, oh my goodness, man, if I could just talk to this person and maybe we could go out on a date. They did something amazing about this person. Attraction, you don't control attraction sometimes, and a lot of times it is not really based on anything significant. Sometimes it'll, they might have some body parts or certain characteristics or whatever that you are just naturally attracted to, but it literally has no bearing on building a life with somebody. You can equate certain stuff to trying to, like, if you want to make a certain amount of money and you want to live a certain lifestyle, okay, there are reasonable excuses or reasons to I date in this realm, or I have desires to want to do this every weekend or this every month or spend this type of month, live in this type of place. And so in order to do that, my partner needs to be able to X, Y, Z. Okay, that's reasonable. That's fair. But if that person is a terrible person, if they are not trustworthy, if they have bad hygiene, it is going to make your life miserable.
Even what they do now, is that what they're going to do forever? Am I okay with it for now? Or am I okay if this is the only job that they ever hold and they do it for the rest of their lives? And I think that also kind of realizing, like, I worked at McDonald's at one point, right? So if you were like, oh, well, she works at McDonald's, like, nah, I don't work at McDonald's anymore. I did it for like a couple of months and I moved on. And so also kind of realizing that part, like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? I'm not going to write somebody off without understanding that they have a plan for their life and they are heading in that direction, and this is just a stop. And I think that is more important than where they are right now in this moment. And again, there are people that have those, oh yeah, when I get enough money, then I'm gonna do this, and they have all that wishful thinking, but don't have the
solid plans in place and stuff like that.
But you can meet a bus driver. She could meet a bus driver who has plans of being a CEO of a big company and is working and has the things in the work and is doing these things on the side, but right now he's a bus driver, and that could be her husband, but because of his occupation, and that's her prerogative. Like that's 100% up to her. If she wants to wait for a bus driver to eventually turn into whoever big, and that's when she would, she wants to meet him there, that's fine. Not everybody wants to or is built for the journey.
Yeah.
And
that's different when you're your age. So that I don't know how old she is, but I'm will venture to say she's a little bit older than I am. Especially if you're at a certain age and a certain level of established in life, it makes less sense to want to journey. If I'm 40 years old and I've done college, I've done high level education, I am in whatever high level of what field I am in, it would seem strange or like a step backwards to be partnered with somebody that is at entry level of whatever journey they're on.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I think it is the tone of looking down on this person or presenting in a way that's like, this person is not good enough.
But you gotta know
say that's not for me.
Yeah, you gotta know what you can handle. If you are not in a position nor have the desire to help somebody get to that point, then know that about yourself, and that's fine. And if you are, cool, great, because some people are. So I don't think there's anything wrong with her not wanting to date a bus driver. I think I agree, or I definitely agree with you. Just don't look down on people for what they do. Because we don't know their life. We don't know what they've been through. We don't know, how hard they're trying to do whatever. And somebody has to do it. So do those people not deserve, they don't deserve love?
They deserve love, just not from her. She's like,
cool.
Somebody gonna love you. Just like you pick up hundreds of people every single day, and one of them could be the love of your life. Just not me. You picking them up all day. I don't know. I feel like you can talk about this point till it's in the ground, because we've touched on it too, and I think it's gonna keep coming up again because people are so wrapped up in a lot of superficial things, and I think you don't realize also what's really important until you're in that situation, or until you're engaged with somebody and building with somebody and realize, oh, you had this quality or this thing about you that wasn't even thinking about or wasn't even considering, is a thing that is making us so successful. Or I'm so happy, like I have this person because of this thing that they do or have, a way that they think that I never even experienced before. I would have never even thought to put this on my list. I would have never. There's things I know I needed from a partner, or things I knew I couldn't deal with in a partner, but I never imagined how important my communication with my partner and their temperament would be to me until I found my wife. So that is also perspective talking. So I can't, say that, for somebody else. It's your life, it's your journey. I pray the best for her. And we'll see how it works out. As of right now, the bus drivers are winning, because I seen on the Black Love page, I think you liked it, and somebody was doing. There's a girl that was dating a bus driver, and they are in love. She getting on his bus, doing his round, just bringing him lunch and riding in the front seat. What him just happy?
I'd ride the bus if you drove it, baby.
I believe it. I appreciate you, baby. I love you. All right, so
Couples Fight Club. Yeah. Couples Fight Club.
So I didn't see the whole exchange from Twitter. Some nonsense going on with Freddie Gibbs. I don't know, but the question that came up from it was, if your partner, specifically if your partner is of the opposite sex, because that's what makes it more interesting.
Yes.
For this question, If your partner is getting jumped or about to get jumped,
yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Jumping in?
Yes. With objects. Yes.
Here's my issue with this: is like, if I'm about to get jumped and now we getting jumped, it's infinitely worse than just me getting jumped. It is infinitely. I would absolutely rather
I'm getting supplies.
I would you go run and get somebody or something that lets you stay far away.
Somebody else with the somebodies, and I'm going to get objects, heavy objects that I can throw.
I live in my head, so I've played this scenario out. But I've also played this scenario out in my head where it's life and death and it's zombie apocalypse or something like that. And I'm like, no, baby, you run. I'm going to hold down the door or
if
whatever.
If they're zombies, they're going to get you, baby. I'm sorry.
Okay. So my thing is,
they're biting and then you turn into a zombie. Is that not how it works?
So you're fine with letting me die in a place where I was going to probably lose anyway.
If they bite you.
But you're not going to let me just get jumped, and so we don't both have to get jumped, because then who's going to tend to us when we both stomped out?
Listen, we're not getting stomped out, because I have the ability to now see the vantage points.
Okay.
And see the weaknesses, because I'm on the outside looking in.
Okay.
Now I'm going to get a brick,
a
stick, or something.
How many bricks or sticks it takes if it's 5 of them?
How did you get jumped by 5 people? What did you do?
That's why it's jumped. And if it was just a one-on-one.
Side note, this is why I'm not a fan of hotheads. Because don't put me in no stuff. Like,
yeah.
Now I got to figure out how I'm...
Well, it could be whatever. I mean, it don't have to be.
It
doesn't have to be.
I'm really bigger than all of this, honestly. So, like, on a maturity level where we really don't have to go
That's
there.
the part about those situations. It's you are assuming that you are crazier or willing to go further than that other person.
And you don't know that person.
You find that person that really don't care about anything or consequences or their life. Then what? He's like, we can both die. Well, hey, hold on.
Nobody said nothing about dying. I was just angry before.
Yeah,
that's why the word says to be angry, but sin not. We don't need to touch each other. Keep hands, feet, other objects to yourself.
Now, this situation in the other shoe where you getting jumped, I'm jumping in. I just look bad because now I'm throwing women left and right, trying to get them off you. But yeah, I'm not as concerned. Definitely not. The hard part is going to be separating them, because they're just going to be grabbing and yanking and things. So that's the hard part. And then once I put my hands on this woman, if there is a guy attached to this, I have to knock him out first before I can even, because the second I go to get in here, it's like, hey nigga, what you do? And they swing. So I immediately, as soon as that's breaking off, I'm like, okay, let me knock him out real quick, and then I gotta.
Now what if the dude is just like the homeboy? He was just there. They just met. It's their first date.
I'm coming to knock him out, and if he's like, hey yo, I ain't on that, I was like, well, you better grab your girl, because you a liability. And that's you. Can you? Because this is no. Nah, let him fight. No. Oh, okay, bet.
No.
Immediately. But that goes back to decision making, because we need to not be in that situation where there's multiple people. You see, we are outnumbered. We need to de-escalate. We need to get our backs to the wall, towards the door.
Being outnumbered. It doesn't even have to do with being outnumbered. It is also reminding your partner, like, we're not doing that. Like, come on, we're not. It's annoying. I get it. It's frustrating, but we'll hash it out later. Let's go. Because some things most things are just not worth it.
It's not
now
worth
you
it.
Bring children into the mix. It's a whole different situation. But again, as 2 adults, like a lot of stuff is just not worth it. just
You say that until they cross that line. If the numbers are right.
No, I'm not saying
and
that.
They catch you on the right day. It can be whatever.
I hear you. I'm still also saying, more times than not, it's not worth it. More times, I mean,
not definitely.
Now, if people can't be reasonable, I get it, but some stuff can just be a conversation.
If we can't talk, we got to fight.
I had a situation at work and realizing like, okay, I just need to be the bigger person and have the conversation because it was more than it needed to be for no reason. And now it's fine. Everybody's cool. There's no issue. But it took me being the bigger person to have the conversation and be like, hey, you know, this happened. This is why. This is whatever. I'm not disrespectful. I don't like being disrespected. This is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. I'm cool. You cool. We cool.
I've had a situation at work before where, I do door-to-door sales, and so it can get sketchy at any given moment. And I've definitely had a wide variety range of different ways people have greeted me, from angry to happy to with a gun. And you never know what you're going to get, but sometimes people get beside themselves and coming outside and you know what you doing, and you know, I've had situations where I'm looking at them as they're coming out their door crazy with energy that I did not meet them with. I'm just looking at you, because also I'm waiting for you to realize that if this situation was to go down, it would not go well for you. I'm literally looking down at you. The age is not on your side. Size is not on your side. You're just loud and mad. And once you take stock of the situation, you just look, you know what? I was tripping. I didn't mean to come. I stubbed my toe on the way out the door, and it just, in my emotions got the best of me. You're good. It's okay. Just relax. Think about it.
I do appreciate that you're pretty level-headed, but also have the ability to fight. Like the technique, like not just I'm angry and I'm gonna swing, but
feet on neck. Yeah,
like I know how to do the things, and then if the fight can get to the floor, I'm in there too. Like I got levels with this. Instead of just like, oh, I got into a lot of fights and that's not a fight, and I'm just angry and I'm rah rah rah. Not with that.
Street fighting is dangerous. Niggas be having weapons too, so there's that. That is why it is best if we can avoid the situation, because you don't know who got what on them, and you don't know who's with who. So if stuff goes south and this person decides they got a problem with you and you got to handle them, you don't know if they go into the car, you don't know if they got it on them, you don't know if they homeboy sitting here in the cut. So we try to keep it safe, you know. So we're gonna wrap this up. We appreciate y'all. We gotta head out and do the things. But before we head out, of course, as always, like, rate, subscribe to the podcast if y'all didn't do it already. If you made it this far, you had to have enjoyed something. So subscribe to us on YouTube, rate it on the Apple Podcasts, and we also, as always, would love to shout out our sponsor, black.girl.bless on Instagram, blackgirlbless.com for the website, handmade boutique polymer clay earrings, in your mailbox, straight to you. Just do a little clicking, do a little payment, we'll get that right over to you.
Shout out to all of the mothers. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
To our mothers, we love you. We are very grateful for you and all that you've done for us, especially within this past year. Because we got married.
Yeah, we did.
And y'all did the things. Yeah. So we really, really appreciate y'all. But if your mother's not here or whatever, find some women in your life to celebrate. There's got to be at least one, if not.
They're there somewhere.
Yeah, it's got
even
to be
if you don't be thinking about it, they
at least one. To all the mothers who have lost their children, to all the mothers who never got to hold their children at all, to all the mothers who want to be mothers but can't be mothers, to all of the pet owner mamas,
to baby
the godmothers and the mentors and the aunties and the grandmothers, the cousins, the sisters, the friends. Happy Mother's Day. We love you. We hope that you feel appreciated. Also, between now, today, between the, what's the thing? I'm dating this episode, right? Between the 8th and the 14th. The 14th is Mother's Day. Between the 8th and the 14th, Black Girl Bus is doing 20% off sale, and with the code I Love Mom, that's ILUVMOM, I Love Mom, for 20% off of our website for the next week. We are also dropping earrings on Saturday. Also, if you were in the area, we're doing Greensboro Full Circle market at Odin Brewery from 12 to 4, I believe. Yeah, shout out to Treese and Af again and Benji for that come through. With the come through. Yeah, I think that's it. Anything? Write yourself a love letter. Write your mother a love letter. Write your spouse a love letter. That's our date idea for the week. And until next time.